appreciate you for taking your time, and I want to introduce
No
to
problem.
everybody listening, Love King Kendrick. How you doing this today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Uh,
I'm having a good day so far. And I hope the same is going well with you and everything like that. Yeah, I'm
you,
good.
it's going. It's going good. I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be alive, and I'm just, it gets me all bent out of shape when I can't get things the way I want to get them for this show.
Yeah.
When it comes to technicalities,
Yeah.
but we're gonna jump right into it.
Okay.
So, Love King, where'd you get that name from?
Well, the King part, it come from a story dealing with my daughter and her grandmother.
Mhm.
My daughter's grandma always called her princess. So I always tell everybody if my daughter a princess, I gotta be the king. So that's why I get King Kendrick from.
Okay. So, going into the Southern Soul realm, when I listen to your music, I hear so much more than just Southern Soul. I hear blues, I hear R&B. So, who are some of your influences?
Well, one of my biggest influences, of course, was Michael Jackson. Growing up, I always liked his style and his authentic voice and how he's different and stuff like that. He stand out from the rest. He always entertained. He entertained in his music. He entertained when he on stage. That's why I pride myself in entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Anytime I'm doing a show or something like that, the one thing I pride myself in is making sure I put on a good show.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mhm. Yeah.
My motto is, and that one thing I learned from being a background singer to the late Ollie Woodson of the Temptations, he always said to me, "You are always good as your last performance." So
Mm.
every time you want to bring your A game and get, like William would say, get gooder and gooder.
Oh
so
yeah. Oh yeah. I
um
always.
so so when it comes to those influences, when you decided to step on the scene in Southern Soul, when did that happen?
Uh, it didn't happen right away, but I went to a Tucker. I really didn't really know what Southern Soul was really like that in the beginning.
Hmm.
I was more like you said, R&B type music vibe
Hmm.
person, not really into rap, but I love my R&B. But I went
Hmm.
to a concert one time up in in Montgomery, Alabama, and the artist was Tucker. It was the first time I seen and heard live performance of Tucker, and I was like, okay, I like this. It's not really like that old school Southern Soul that I used to hear. It's more like a combination of new style and old school put together. So I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
I'm feeling this. I'm really feeling this. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like probably about a year or two later, I decided to jump off into Southern Soul and I heard King George and Tucker and King George. And I was like, ooh, I can really rock with this. Tucker and King George combination really got to me. So that's when I started to jump off into Southern Soul.
That's awesome. I mean, all of us have, like, me. I'm a soul singer, but I grew up with my R&B.
Mm.
Southern Soul was a platform or a vessel for me to demonstrate my R&B abilities. But I do have some Southern Soul songs out. Don't get me wrong. But
Mhm.
I do believe there's a differentiation between Southern Soul and trail ride music. A lot of people think that
Oh,
Southern
yeah.
Soul and trail ride all link up in the same manner, and they don't.
They don't. They don't. Not to me, they don't anyway. Like trail ride music is more like an energetic, feel good type of. I just want to dance all day type thing, and Southern Soul it's feel good, but it's a story, mostly a story behind the song.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yep, you're absolutely right. One thing, it's funny because Southern Soul could be the urban way of a country song would be, because it does tell stories. And country music, that's what they're known for. They'll tell a story. They'll
Yeah,
tell a
yeah.
story. I don't care if it's about their horse. I don't care if it's about their grandma. I don't care if it's about, anything pertaining to real life and what they're going through. Country music and lyrics would have that in it. And that's the same thing when it comes to Southern Soul, you
Definitely,
know.
definitely.
So, how do you handle negative criticism?
Um, Negative criticism to you talking about towards me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I always believed in the negative criticism. You can take it in different kind of ways. Like if
Mhm,
somebody come to me and be like, "Well, I don't like your song," or the
mhm.
way you carry yourself or something like that. I mean, I always my mom always told me like everybody's different. Everybody have their own opinion. You can't just base your life off of other people's opinion. You gotta
That's right.
be the man that you're trying to be for what you trying to accomplish in life. So if somebody come to me with something negative,
Mhm.
I try to ignore it for the most part because I try not to in my best ability to not try to be in mess and stuff like that because I know um, a lot of people gonna always have opinions about you in this world. And you
Mhm.
can't try to answer or defend yourself against everybody's opinion about you and how you're trying to live your life.
Mhm. And like they say, you can't be everybody's cup of tea.
No,
But
you're not.
you have to be okay with who you are in this game, and you also have to have thick skin and be able to accept constructive criticism,
Yep.
and turn it around and flip it like you say, and motivate you to do better and step it up. You
Def-
know,
Definitely.
one thing I said last week at my interview, that I had, with Prophet Yari, I said, you know what, last year, I had a term that I used for the beginning of the year. In 2025, the term was evolution or elevate, in which that's something that I did for 2025. I've elevated to this new plateau.
That's
So
crazy. Okay.
so for 2026, my word is level up, because we can sustain at a platform or from our elevation, but leveling up from that surpasses that plateau. So that's where I am this year, is leveling up.
That's
So
crazy. It's crazy. Before you could go into the next thing, it's
mhm,
crazy how you say elevation because before 2026 came in, that was my thing for this year was elevation. You can go back and look on my post before the new year came
mhm.
in. That was my thing. I was putting out to everybody on TikTok. Elevation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's definitely, to me, that gives me drive,
Yeah.
when I come up with those terms and something that I'm going to stand by to better myself for the year. And
Yeah.
ever since last year when I did that and I spoke it into existence, it
Mhm.
happened. And now I'm leveling up and it's coming into fruition. So
Amen.
so how do you handle the business side of the music industry?
Um, well, I took a few business classes before I even
Mhm.
got off into the music thing. When I was in the service, I got me an associate degree in business and accounting and stuff like that. So a lot of things when it comes to the well, I know music a little bit different, but I have
Mhm.
a associate of mine that she like a lawyer in the music industry or whatever.
Mhm.
So she give me
Mhm.
a lot of advice when it comes to different things, when it comes to contracts, when it comes to is this a reasonable price for what the promoter trying to do, or if both of us getting some out of it, or is the promoter getting more out of it than what I'm getting out of it.
Mhm.
She helped me kind of balance those things.
That is a blessing to have, because they are very, very, very expensive.
Mhm.
When somebody's giving you their time and things like that, and they're giving you that good word that you definitely need. An entertainment lawyer is something that all artists need when
Yeah,
it comes to contractual terms, because a lot of times those terminologies in those contracts, it ain't nothing but a bunch of jibber jabber if you don't understand or
oh
break
yeah,
it down what it says.
definitely.
um you know and you can go even back to some of the artists that we knew when we grew up, watching, like, the story of TLC,
Yeah.
how they didn't go over that contract, the story of Tony Braxton. There's
New
so many
edition.
different
Yeah.
artists.
New edition too. Yeah.
New Edition. A lot of times, we're so happy and gung-ho for a a record label to sign us, that we just really quick to sign on it without actually knowing the repercussions of those actions, and how you will actually be tied to them until you complete or exhaust the contractual terms, or possibly you're tied to them until you fulfill your obligation,
Obligation.
and that
Yeah.
could be years,
Yep. That's
years and albums.
mm-hmm.
And So when writing your songs and going into the studio, let's start with this question. So do you write most of your songs?
I write all the songs that I release. I write them. I wrote them.
Okay. Awesome. So what are some of the formulations that you need that actually gives you the idea or the gem to write? You know,
Um,
if you have, go ahead.
it could be. It's a combination of different things. It could be one of my partners might just be like, listen to this beat, man. I really like this beat. You think you want to get on this, and then I start listening to the beat, and then I start, I think of a hook or something
Hmm.
like it could be that kind of way. It could just be like something that I'm going through at the moment.
Hmm.
I write that kind of way, or it could be a place or an event that I've been at. I write that kind of way. It's just whatever inspired me. Uh,
Hmm.
that's why I write off of inspiration and life experiences. That's how I write my music.
Hmm. So support system in this game is very, very strong. You have to have, and you don't have to have a whole giant entourage of people, just a couple of selected people that you know that can count on and won't sugarcoat things and tell you like it is. You
Hmm.
know, pull your coattail when you're wrong type of thing, and they're not a bunch of yes people around you. Do you have that?
I definitely have that. One thing I can say about me, like I always let my family know they really been supportive of me. Everybody like in my hometown of York and Rock Hill, South Carolina, they support me. Like every time I go home and might go check out the spot that I like to hang out at. Every time I go into that spot, they always show me love. They don't have to. I always tell people you don't have to do nothing for somebody. If somebody do something for you, it's because they want to do it. They don't have to.
Mhm.
So I have that support system. My family, they always support me. Like if I have an event close by and things like that, I can always depend on them to not just try to get in free, but purchase a ticket.
Come on
To
now. I
support me.
love that. I love that. See, one thing that people don't understand in this thing, you have family members and you have dear friends that come through and you have the ones that don't mind purchasing a ticket and
Yep,
not just looking for a handout or say, hey, you got us on the list type of thing. You know,
exactly.
you they have to understand, this is our bread and butter. This is our livelihood. So every ticket that we giving away, you're taking money out of our pockets.
Yep. I
I
I
mean,
told I told somebody that probably a couple of months ago I was going to do a trail ride in an event, and somebody was calling me and they was talking about can you give me two tickets to the show. I was like, I can't get you two tickets, but the ticket's $20.
mhm.
You know.
You have to be that way, and a lot of times people fall off that way. People they'll drop off by the wayside, when they feel like that you can't carry them. But you have to do what you have to do as an artist, and you have to stay strong in your walk, and you have to stay strong in who you are as a person. And if they end up falling off because they didn't want to pay a $20 ticket, then they were never meant to be in your circle in the first place.
Exactly.
That's my thing. This music industry is tough, like I said, and you have to actually be strong. You have to understand that when it comes to showing showmanship and being on a card with so many different people, you know um I,
Mhm.
for one, praise anybody and everybody, and I don't have a competitive spirit when it comes to that in my mind. And in Southern Soul, in all genres, I'm not even speaking on Southern Soul, there is always somebody that's trying to put you against another person.
Exactly. I hear that a lot, like you say, in the entertainment industry. But since I've been in Southern Soul, I've even heard it more. But I would say, if you're going to be able, is this genre going to actually be able to elevate? You have
Mhm.
to learn to get along with each other and stop trying to pull and fight against each other. Like when it's the confusion within anything, is not going to grow. It can't go to, like you say, it can't
Mhm.
elevate. It can't
Mhm.
go to the next level if it's confusion within the industry. And I see
Mhm.
a lot of confusion, a lot of discord and stuff like that. But in order for Southern Soul to go to the level that it's trying to get at, it have to be a combination of us coming together and being on each other's side. Stop trying to play somebody against the other person
Mhm.
against somebody else.
Mhm. That's right. You know, um, when you perform on the stage, When you're doing those shows and things like that, do you feel the energy? Are you energized from the audience? Are you just mainly just butterflies when you go out there? And how do you feel when you get on that stage? Do you feel nervous when you're about to sing? Do you know you about to bring it, or do you get the butterflies?
I usually get my butterflies before I go on the stage. Once I'm on the stage, it's like nothing else in the world matters because
Mhm,
I'm like in a zone, like I'm zoned out. Like you ever
mhm,
seen that movie Biker Boys when
mhm,
Lawrence Fishburne he get on that motorcycle and just zoned out. Like that's how I be when I'm on the stage. I'm here for one reason only to
mhm,
make you feel good for about
mhm.
5 or 10 minutes.
hmm we actually, and I say this all the time, as being performers, we have so much that is on our plate. We drop everything that we may be going through at that moment to give you the best performance that we can possibly give you. I
Yeah.
don't care if we had a flat before we got there to a show. I don't care if we just lost a loved one. If we are on that card and we're set to perform, we're going to give you all we got. If
Definitely.
we don't do that, we're doing a disservice to what we're called to do.
Exactly. And
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh, I was saying exactly. And I feel the same way. Like I always tell somebody, like it's okay. I can if I just come to watch somebody sing and not put on a show, I can just go to YouTube or something like that and just listen to their song and just relax at home. When I come
Mhm.
out my house and I'm sitting in the audience, I need you to bring it, not just sing and do something to keep me engaged.
Right. So, Love King, how do you see your music career evolving in the near future?
Um, I feel like it's going to go to the places or the level I would want it to go.
Mhm.
Sometime I'll be sitting in my car talking to God and praying to God. I'll be like, Lord, I want my music, to take off. I want shows. At least
Mhm.
I always been taught to tell God exactly what you want. So I want two shows a month. I don't want shows every weekend. If I get a hit, I don't want shows every weekend. Like some of the good artists like 803 Fresh and stuff like that. I love 803
Mhm.
Fresh, but I like
Mhm.
I don't I'm not gonna go. I want two
Mhm.
shows a month, and I'm good with that, Lord. But I do want my songs, at least on the top 2 or 5, number one or something like that on the chart.
Mhm.
And I know one day it's gonna get there because I believe my the person that that I worship, they can do that for me.
That's right. And you spoke it into existence, so it's bound to happen. And I just know that, working and doing shows every weekend and sometimes during the weekdays, that is exhausting, not only on your physical body or your mental as well. And it's hard to keep up with, the change in the weather and the temperature to be able to sustain your vocals.
Yeah, yeah.
you know is there any specific thing you do that helps to sustain your vocals from show to show?
I drink a lot of tea and a lot of water. I keep my body well hydrated and stuff like that. That's what I do, like to keep my
Hmm.
body hydrated. And I like to, eat a bunch of fruit, like some grapes or some oranges and things like that before I get on stage. I just that way I can have that energy that I need and my vocals. You know what I'm saying, will be hydrated from the water and things. So hopefully I won't be cracking when I get up on there and stuff like that.
So what was up until today, at this very moment, can you reflect on a performance that you did that was very memorable experience?
Yeah, I just recently posted one of my most memorable experiences. Um, I went to Madison, Florida. It was a trail ride that I did up there, and I had just kind of recently released my new song, "Come Get It," and I was performing it, in the crowd and stuff like that. And then I just out the blue, like I was feeling it so good, the crowd was energy was so off the chain.
Mhm,
Like, I
mhm.
loved, like I could see it by Madison, Florida. They were showing real love, and I that was one of my best performances out there. So I just started doing this bunny hop kind of dance and moving all just
Uh-huh.
one little freak move, whatever. And it's like the crowd was loving it. They was eating it up. So from the next couple of performances I did, I've been doing that mood and people been loving it. So that's one of the most memorable performances that I had.
That I love those experiences like that. You can't even put them in a bottle and sell it because it's just something that sticks with you forever. It's kind
Yeah,
of like we're addicts in a sense. We crave that moment, that have that great relationship with the audience.
yeah.
You can't patent that. It's just something that's just organic. So what is the most important thing that you have learned thus far in your career?
Um, Pretty much just stay out the way, stay to yourself, be humble. You got to stay motivated. You got to keep grinding. Don't give up, even if it take a couple of years to get to where you're trying to get to. You got to stay motivated. Like my mentor, I want to shout him out, Mr. Stuff. He out of Rock Hill, South Carolina as well. My mentor, Mr. Stuff. That was the first Southern Soul artist I talked to before I even got into this industry. And he
Mm-hmm.
always told me, like, just keep putting out content, keep doing what you're doing. Just because no ain't nobody liking your stuff, they are still seeing your stuff. Just keep
Mm-hmm.
grinding. Don't give up, even when the darkest days come and it seems like ain't nobody feeling your music, ain't nobody calling you. Just keep grinding, because people
Mm-hmm.
are looking. You got to stay
That's right.
motivated and keep pushing.
People are looking when you at least expect it in this game. I don't care if they click like or anything on what you have. They are looking. You look at them views. You can have 2,000 views. You might have 5 likes, but they see you. They
Yeah,
definitely see you.
definitely.
So collaborations.
Mhm.
Anybody you hope to collaborate with?
Uh, yeah, I haven't really I was trying to, kind of get myself established first, you know what I'm
Mhm,
saying, in the industry and then collaboration. But I always had this ideal of collaborating with Jesus Jones. Like I
mhm.
just I love his style and I love his energy and stuff like that. So that would be my first collaboration. If once I do a collaboration with an artist, it'll be Jesus Jones, and then I go on from there.
That's awesome. Oh, shout out to Jeter Jones. It is his birthday today. Happy
Oh yeah,
birthday,
yeah,
Candle
yeah,
Trail Riding Blues, Jeter Jones. I have had the privilege of collaborating with him with the song we have called Do Right By Me, as well as him writing a whole album with Slack and my Phoenix album, and also writing me one of my very first distribution deal songs called Special. He wrote that song for me. So shout out to Judah Jones.
Cool, cool.
So how can somebody book you?
You want to book me? You can go to my Facebook page because I have my booking information on there. Selena Mitchell, that's my booking agent. But if you can't get in contact with her, you just inbox me or call me. My phone number is on my social media as well. And either way, you can book me for a show.
And if you did miss this, you can always go back and get the information. And if you do need to reach him and you don't have the information, reach out to me and I'll send it right on over to him. That's how we will operate around
Yeah,
here.
definitely, definitely.
So, what's your next show? When can we see Love King Kendrick?
My next show is in it's in Mississippi. I'll be down there doing Uncle T's birthday bash down there in Mississippi. So that's my next show. It's February 21st.
Y'all hear it, February 21st. What is it? Where is it again?
It's in Mississippi. Oh, I just thought about it. I do got another show. I just thought about it.
Okay.
It's in Tuskegee, Alabama. It's a Steppers event. Steppers event. Georgia meets Alabama. Steppers event in Tuskegee, Alabama. That's February 7th.
February 7th.
Mhm.
Y'all heard it first. Now, the last thing that I want to ask you in closing, I want to ask you, what are some of the key words or some encouraging word that you would like to give someone that's an aspiring artist just getting onto the scene? What would you tell them?
Never let nobody divert you from what your goals are in life.
That's right. Y'all heard it. Don't be diverted from your goals in life. You keep going.
Keep going.
And what I always tell everybody, to all my listeners, each and every week on Soul to Soul Sit Down, 30-minute Thursdays, I want to thank y'all so much for always tuning in, chiming in. I get inboxes frequently of people wanting to be on the show. This show is doing so, so well. And I'm appreciative of every single person that has given me great words of encouragement. So I always say in closing, it's always good to support another fellow artist. I promise you, it will never